everyone, I am here with my lovely cousin Nicole, and she has allowed me to do her makeup today. She's gonna have dinner with friends later, and I thought this would be a great opportunity for us to hang out and for me to use her as a lovely model to show you how I apply makeup on my clients for special events or photography. So if you are interested in seeing the techniques that I use and the products I use for my makeup clients, just keep watching. So it is a hot day in July, so I'm just going to take this makeup removing wipe. She doesn't have any makeup on right now, but the natural oils of her face have probably come through from the heat outside, and it's well into the like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The makeup wipes I've been using are these from the Dollar General. They're nighttime soothing ones. They're really good for sensitive skin, so that's why I just use these, and they're pretty affordable. Now that we've cleaned her face, I'm going to use this Teddy Organics rosehip seed oil. This is a nice oil for the skin, but it's a dry oil, so once this sets into her skin, it's not going to feel greasy on her. While that moisturization is setting in on her skin, I'm going to use the Mary Kay Satin Lips lip balm on her lips, just to let her lips start to soak in that hydration as well. It's really good for you to have a lip brush in your kit because you don't want to go in and apply lipstick on every one of your clients or chapstick with just the same applicator. So you can get one of these lip brushes. This is a Real Techniques one, or you can buy the disposable ones off of Amazon. Now that her moisturizer has had time to set in, I'm going to go in with this Men's Nivea Shave Balm for sensitive skin. I use this as a primer for foundation and all the other things that you put on your face. It'll just set it and really make your makeup stay on, and it's also good because it's really cooling on the skin. I especially use this in my summer months because a lot of brides will have their weddings outdoors in the summer. It's very hot and they're worried about their makeup staying on with dancing and photography, and this is just really good. I actually wore this when I was in Orlando, Florida. I combined this and this with my matte foundation, and my makeup stayed on all day in the sweltering heat of Orlando, Florida. So fun little tip, and this is always on sale at the drugstore, so you don't have to go out and buy these high-end primers if you don't want to. So now while her primer sets into her skin, I'm going to start working on her eyes. I'm going to go ahead and prime her eyes with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. This is the original one, and it's just a little travel size because it fits in my kit better. So I just apply it a little bit to the back of my hand, take a concealer brush, and just apply it right onto the eyes. And I'm taking it all the way up to right underneath the brow and out here, because I do plan on doing like a cat eye on her. She has hooded eyes, and hooded eyes are fantastic for smoky cat eyes. Not everybody can do that, but on my cousin, she can pull it off to the maximum. Okay, to set down her eye primer, I'm going to be using this eyeshadow palette here. It's by BH Cosmetics by the YouTuber Shanixa. Here's what it looks like. I'm just going to take this cream shade here and buff it all over her lid. And I'm going to use a big fluffy brush for this. So next I'm going to go in with this BH Cosmetics Special Occasion palette, and I'm going to first start with this lighter brown shade here with a tapered blending brush. And you're just going to start at the outer corner on hooded eyes and kind of go slanted upwards towards the tail of her eyebrow. And just kind of windshield wiper back and forth, just like this here. Going in with the same brush and the same palette, I'm now going to go into this deeper shade of brown and just really focus it on that outer V corner there. And then with whatever's left over on the brush, you can take it over to the crease in those windshield wiper motions again. By the way, I forgot to mention this is also a BH Cosmetics brush. It's from the Smoky Eye kit. With this smaller, dense tapered brush from BH Cosmetics Smoky Eye brush kit, I'm gonna take this plum, this plum color right here, and I'm gonna focus that in the outer corner as well. And with whatever's left on the brush, just kind of connect it in here. Using this same type of concealer brush that we used earlier, which is also by BH Cosmetics, I'm going to go in with the NYX Glitter Glue Primer, and then go in with this NYX Brilliant Glitter in 08, but it looks like a bronzy gold, if that makes sense. I've never used either of these products before, so what are you gonna let me do to you?
I'm gonna be your guinea pig.
She's gonna be my guinea pig. I need a drink after that one. So that's what it looks like when it comes out, kind of skin tone there. And then you see on this eye here where I don't have any shadow in the center of her lid here, that's where we're gonna apply this primer. You want to be very careful and just carve it into that shape there that we've already left blank and empty. So that glitter just lays nicely on top. Just going to shake a little bit of this glitter into the cap. That's what it looks like. And with a flat shader brush, this is by Lottie London, which I believe they now sell at Ulta. I'm just going to go in and pat that on top. When you apply glitter to your clients, you want to make sure that it says that it can be used on body or eye, just like this one does, because you don't want to just use any craft glitter on someone's eyes because it can cause serious eye problems. Okay, so first impressions on this glitter, it is gorgeous, but I want to apply a gold shadow to her eye, then the glitter primer, and then the glitter on top, because it's just kind of transparent. It does look pretty, but when I get really up close, I'll show you. You can still see a little bit of the skin underneath there. So we're gonna try it this other way, and I'll see which one I like better, and then take off the other one and fix it. Going in the same palette by BH Cosmetics, this special occasion, I'm gonna go with this gold bronzy shadow here. No, well, let's go with this one here. So now taking more of that glitter primer and just laying it on top of that gold shadow. Now going in with more of that glitter. Before I figure out which eye I like better, I'm actually going to go in back with that plum shade from this palette here and just clean up in the crease here. Whenever you're doing a smoky eye, you want to work backwards in the colors that you first applied. So we the last applied this plum shade, so now we need to go backwards and apply the plum shade again. And then taking that little tapered brush again and going in with that darker brown that we had before. And then going back in with that light brown from the beginning. Then I'm just going to wipe up some glitter that has fallen under her eyes here. That's the bad thing about this NYX glitter, is there's a lot of fallout. There's the first eye and there's the second eye. So they're both very different. I actually like both of them, but I don't know which one I like better. When she's looking at me straight on, I like this one. So I think I'll take off the makeup of the other eye and do that. While I'm fixing her other eye here to match the other side, I thought it would be cool if we told you all about our favorite memories with each other. So my cousin's just a couple years older than me, so pretty much she was my first friend. Aww. And been together a long time, and we've had a lot of fun memories. When I got to high school, I think she was a junior, right? Yeah. So I got 2 good years of high school with her. And then in middle school, she was there in 8th grade when I was a 6th grader. So we went to school together. Of course, family events and functions. But my favorite, I'll kind of switch over here so I'm not so out of focus. Probably my best memory with her is she hadn't had her license very long, and she had this little white Chevy Cavalier. And she's like, let's go to the mall. Now, mind you, we lived in a town where we didn't even have our own Walmart. True? Not even a Walmart, okay? It's super small, little family-owned grocery store. And so going to the mall, to me, was a big deal. Because you had to drive 30 to 45 minutes to get there. So she came and picked me up, and we headed to the mall. Getting on the interstate was interesting, because I'm pretty sure that was her first time ever being on the interstate.
Alone.
Without her mom.
Yes.
Or another trusting adult. And I wasn't scared a bit. So we just put some jams on, probably some Nelly Furtado. Probably, who else might we have been listening to on that day?
Nelly.
Definitely Nelly.
Oh, Britney Spears.
Probably a little Britney Spears, not because we liked her, but because we thought it was cool to mimic and mock. Let's be real, she probably really did like her.
I still like Britney Spears.
I didn't think that, I did not like Britney Spears at that point, but I thought it was fun to listen to because then I could impersonate her. So, I don't know, I just thought it was real cool because I was probably, if she was 16, I was 14, and I was in the car with my big cousin who had her license, and we were just a couple of girls gonna have some time at the mall, and I just felt real cool and real big and real special that she chose me as her companion to go on her first big road trip to the mall. And that's pretty much the pretty much the end of the story. Yeah, that was a quick trip. I think we got some food, and I don't really remember much else about it because it's been a long time ago, but I just thought that was real special and I felt real cool.
My favorite memory also involves that white Cavalier. I think it was over the summer, and I worked at a summer camp, probably until a few years ago, and so I remember, like, in the pictures, my drawers, like those plastic Rubbermaid drawers, were in the back, and I picked you up and we were just driving around again. I don't even know where we went that day, but again, just jamming out in the cars and thinking we were so cool because we could drive places.
Oh, I remember one time she and I were driving on the interstate again. This was probably months later, but she still had that white Cavalier and she was still kind of a new driver. Oh, I know. We were going to the boys' soccer game because there were some cute boys there, and they were like having their regional. Yeah, she broke down with this busted tire, and I don't even think we made it. We did not even make it out of the high school parking lot. Her tire was like, we could just feel each other going, dun, 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 dun. And I'm like, what is that? And she's like, oh, this is not right. I got to get out and check. And she's like, my tire has a hole in it. And so I feel like one of the FFA boys like put her.
It's the basketball team.
One of the basketballs.
Yeah.
One of the basketball players put this tire, like that little donut that you get that comes in your trunk, and the nearest tire shop that her family had to meet her was in the county over, and we had to drive so slow to get there, and people were beeping their horn and probably flipping us off because we were driving so slow.
But we made it to the game.
We did make it to the game. There were definitely some cute boys there. It was hot. We stayed till nighttime. It was a fun time.
I also remember playing dress up in your room when we were younger, and like your brother would try to come in and, ew, get out, this is girl time.
I'm going to go back into this Shanaxo palette in that white matte shade, and I'm just going to clean up under her brows here. I don't want to add shimmer up here because she's already got a lot going on the lid. And then I'm going to go in with this champagne color and put that in the inner corners. So we're going to take a break on the eyes right now, and I'm going to go ahead and start on her base. This is a Bella Pierre Dark Circle Eliminator. It's in a light pink color, and I just like to put this underneath the eyes of all my clients so they look nice and bright and awake for all of their photos. So now I'm going to take this Real Technique sponge. I've dampened it underwater, and I'm just going to have her look straight up and blend this in. We're still going to put concealer and foundation over, but this is just going to blend it out, so when you do add those other products over top, it's not going to be chunky and cakey. So she does have some little red spots. We're going to go in with this green Bella Pierre Color Correct. We're just going to take a big chunk on the back of my hand there. These are the foundations I use on my clients, a L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. These are great because they don't contain sunscreen, so they're not going to cause flashback in photography for special events. And they are very long wearing and medium to full coverage if you build them up. I have these two shades, 101 and 102. I have other shades, but I'm going to swatch them on her neck here and see which ones we're going to go with. And what I do is I just distribute a lot on the back of my hand here and just pat it in with a Real Technique sponge. I've seen a lot of makeup artists use like a candle lid. You could do that as well. Now for her, I don't think I'm going to actually add any concealer underneath the eyes because that Bella Pierre did a pretty good job of brightening up under her eyes. So now we are going to move in with some contour and some bronzing up of the skin and bring some color back into the skin. I'm going to go in with this BH Cosmetics contour palette, and we do need to set under her eyes. So I'm going to go in with this probably a combination between this light shade and this yellow shade. Using the sponge, you could, on a client with more oily skin, go in with a brush like that, but she does have a little more dry skin. Now we're going to go in with this Luxie large angled brush in the contour, and we're going to use this more taupey shade right here. That seems to work well for my pale girls like myself and my cousin because it's not going to look orange on them. Then we're going to take this brush here from BH Cosmetics, and using that same color, we're going to contour the nose a little bit. You want to go up to the eyebrow here, just very lightly drag it down. Now we're going to go in with this blush by Becca. It's in the shade Flower Child. It's very beautiful and great for pale girls and great for brides. It's just very peachy, but you have to be careful because a little goes a long way. Smile for me. You want to add more blush on your clients on the actual day because they will be getting their pictures taken, and so you do want to add more blush than what they would normally wear. I'm not going to add that much blush to her because she is going out to dinner, and I don't think she's going to be getting her pictures taken professionally, so we're not going to worry about adding a ton of blush.
I'm just that extra.
She's not that extra today, but normally she is. Okay, something I noticed real quick is I brought in her blush a little too far right here. So let me show you a trick. You just take your sponge that still has a little foundation on it and pat it in. And then you can sprinkle a little translucent powder and let it sit in there and then dust it off. Now my favorite part, highlight. I'm just going to take this little powder brush here and just kind of knock off that translucent powder. Now we're going to go in with the Brow Gal for her brows. It's a little trio. I'm going to use this taupey blonde shade. But first you want to brush her hair, your client's eyebrow hairs upward. Then you're going to go in with this angled side, and this is also by the Brow Gal. And just take your little product, and you want to start underneath and just carve it out across, making that line there. And then whatever's left on the product, you just brush on the brush, you just brush that product upward, and it just creates a natural soft brow look. And then going back in and just underneath, cleaning the brows with some powder. Now we're going to smoke out underneath the lash line. I'm going to use this kind of terracotta color from the Shan XO palette on a BH Cosmetics short shader brush. Then we're going to go in back in that special Occasion palette, and we're gonna go in with that brown right there. And as always, I like to go dark to light when shading underneath the eyes, so we're going to end the under eye shadow with that light brown. We've got a lot going on the eyes up here, so we are not going to add a liquid or black gel liner. We're just going to do some black shadowing just to give some dimension and make the lashes look thicker. Going in with that black shade right there. With a little, this is by Mirror. My mom got me these brushes one time. Little angled brush there. Close. Starting out at the outer corner and just kind of moving in. Pretty simple. Just keeping it really nice and tight to her lash line. I'm going to go back in with this powder brush here because some of that glitter fell off. Personally, I would not recommend this glitter. I don't think I'm going to use it on clients. So if you know of a good cosmetic glitter that's not going to cost me an arm and a leg, please recommend. Now I'm going to go in with this L'Oreal primer base. This is for her eyelashes. It just really does a good job. And of course a disposable wand. You can get these on Amazon. This is just going to help her mascara stay on, and her eyelashes will be nice and thick with this. Going in with a clean spoolie, I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black in Waterproof. This is good because you get a lot of volume and it just makes the eyelashes look really nice and dark, and it's waterproof, so if people are going to get emotional or sweaty, this would be good. So here's the best tip I can give you for applying mascara. You want to get you like a flat brush like this. This is an e.l.f. brush, I think. Yeah. And you want to tell your client to look straight down with her eyes, and then you place this at like so. Let me see if I can. All right, this is gonna be hard. Look down. Yeah, hold that there for me. Oh, that's a good idea. So she's gonna look down, and I'm gonna place this along her lashes, and then you're gonna tell her to look up and tilt her head back. And this is gonna feel real weird for them, but it's going to make sure that you don't get it on her eyeshadow. For lips, I'm going to use this Too Faced Melted in the shade Melted Fuchsia. So I'm just making sure the back of my hand is clean. Also, normally I would do lip liner, but where she's trying to find this perfect color, I want this color on her lips to be true to what's in the bottle in case she wants to go buy herself one. I did forget one step. This is something that I would do before applying mascara. That's my bad. But you do want to set the makeup with a good setting spray, especially if it's an outdoor wedding. Here is the completed look. So pretty! Oh, thanks for joining us today, and we hope you learned something.
Bye!
Bye!
When you said lip balm, all I could think of was lip trap.
I gotta put on some lip balm because my crusty crust lips. Anybody know what that's from? I'll give you bonus points if you can guess. Peter at the perk. There's your another hint.